A new movie jumps into the ring to take on the big screen, but did it deliver a 1-2 punch?
ABC Columbia's Matt Barone tells us if he thinks the flick was fighting for jabs or a total knockout.
Welcome to another Monday. I don't think anyone truly believed that Mockingjay Part 2 was going to be unseated from its #1 spot this weekend, but there were contenders. Being that everyone loves an underdog story, and the most famous underdog story of recent times is Rocky, it was only fitting that the newest installment of this long-running franchise came out this past weekend. So, I laced up my gloves, headed to the theater to see if this film had a glass jaw or if it could go the distance. Here's my take on Creed. Our film begins with a young child in juvie fighting with his peers. While being held in solitary, he receives a visitor who informs him that he is the son of Apollo Creed, the ex-heavyweight champion of the world. She was Apollo's wife, and even though young Adonis was the product of infidelity, she chooses to take him home and raise him. Cut to present day. Adonis is an educated young man with a job, but fighting is in his blood. He competes in underground Mexican boxing matches and is undefeated. After quitting his job to go professional and being refused training in the LA gyms, he heads east to Philadelphia to seek out Rocky Balboa, his late father's rival and best friend. We see Rocky in down times. He stays away from boxing and is drifting through life. When approached by young Adonis, Rocky is intrigued but declines helping him train. Adonis continues on to Rocky's old gym and trains himself under his mother's surname Johnson, wanting to distance himself from the Creed name and do everything himself. He continues to chip away at Rocky, though, and eventually the champ takes interest and agrees to mentor his old friend's son. Training in old-school methods, Adonis gets better and better until he is actually given a real fight. During the bout, it becomes known that he is the son of Apollo Creed, and a media blitz begins. As the movie progresses, we see several battles, only a small fraction of which take place in the ring. Adonis has to battle with the struggle of being his father's namesake, even though he never had the chance to meet him and harbors deep subliminal anger towards him. He also has to battle the newfound limelight, along with the fear of desertion from those he holds dear. On the other side of the coin, we see Rocky battling with his health, along with the fear of letting someone in and having to actually live again. As all these battles loom, along with the title match closing in, it'll take these two generational champions to come through standing. So, going into this film, I was hopeful, but also prepared to be let down. I saw a phrase that refers to both this and the upcoming Star Wars film, the nostalgia sequel. And that means that audiences are going to flock to the theater because of the blast from the past, but does that put undue pressure on it to be really good? Well, to my delight and somewhat surprise, Creed delivers. I saw someone say that this movie was better than both Spectre and Mockingjay Part 2. I'm not throwing my hat into that ring, but what a good movie. It takes the formula of the original Rocky film and just updates it for the times. And not enough can be said about Sylvester Stallone in this movie. He takes a character that everyone loved and brings him back perfectly. Remember, Rocky Balboa was an award-winning role, and there's even talk for Best Supporting already for this one. The movie gets you so invested that in the theater I was watching it in, during the final boxing match, half of the audience were standing and gasping and groaning and cheering along with the fight. The movie is a fun time, and I definitely think that upon watching it, you're gonna wish that they had just skipped those last two sequels and gone straight to this one. Well, this has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.
Wow, Matt giving an excellent thumbs up for that
Sounds
one.
like, could you imagine people standing in the movie theater
I can
cheering?
imagine them gasping during those fight scenes.
Yeah.
Definitely one to watch. Well, luckily we won't have to fight any frigid temperatures.
No, I think we're closer to Florida than Philly. We have one last look at your forecast next. We're live from Main and Gervais.